my friends, how you all doing? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a fresh episode and a fresh new season of FM22's The Hall of Famer. Of course, my fizzy drink would repeat on me as I do the intro. But yes, we are back with a brand new season. If you missed the season ending episode, which just so happened to be the Europa Conference League final as well, it's linked above, my friends. Make sure you go and check that one out. But after an extraordinary season last year, we've spent £200 million in the summer. I'm going to show you how I've managed to do it. Remember, we only had £50 million worth of transfer budget, but I'm going to show you how I've managed to do that, and I'm going to show you the team and the players, and we're in a very nice place this year. So we are going to start at the transfers, my friends. I believe, yes, it's in the right place. I've already done it all. We're actually going to start in last year's transfer and then move to forward because some of them were made like earliest of early that you can make the transfers. Now, I have spent £200 million in the summer. I think we made about 230 odd million. Basically, whatever we spent, we had to come in first because we only had £50 million to spend anyway. It's been a big spending spree, but I feel like it's one that needed doing, and it's one that we won't have to do again probably. We've just kind of spent money on some very good, young, high-quality players now that are going to go straight into the team, and they're just going to make us better from the off, basically. I sold some players on for big profit. That's helped us massively, and it's now about kind of bedding in some new players and getting the best out of those as the time goes on. Yes, I know we won the Premier League last season, probably didn't need to make wholesale changes, and I haven't really, but I've just added some very good quality players. So let's get started, shall we? With the outs first, and then we'll do the ins. So the earliest of outs is that of G.O.AT. He's gone to Everton for £33.5 million. This is what I was saying with him when I was talking about it in last episode. We would make a profit because we only spent 11 million. That's big money to get for a player that didn't give us much last year. So I'm pretty happy with the money we've managed to get for him. Then there was Firmin Mateo. Now, I've decided to sell him. I know he's only 23, but I just don't really see where the development's going to come any further for him. He's been capped a few times for Argentina, and he was pretty good for us when he was like called upon, but if you look at it over the last couple of seasons, he's not made a lot of appearances in the Premier League, was a bit part player in Europe, and I just felt like maybe we could get better, and in my opinion, I think we definitely got better. So, and we actually bought better from Brighton as well. So he was almost signed as a replacement for the lad that we've taken off of him. But £22 million, I think, is really good money for a player we spent £6 million on. And then we got G.O.AT, who has gone out on loan for the season to Huddersfield. And we're basically going to see how he gets on loan this year, and then we'll decide what we do with him next season. He is a player. I don't think we're going to sell him. I think at some point he's going to be a left-sider for us, whether that be first team or backup. I'm not sure, but there's definitely a very good player in there, and he's 19 at the end of the day, and that's why I wanted to loan him out. If we just move forward, you'll see the rest of the outs. It gets a bit crazy. There's a couple of players here that have gone out on free transfers. Don't really need to talk about those guys. Then you're going to see there's been a double swoop from Juventus. The first one was Joe Gomez. They've bought him for £25 million. Joe Gomez, as you know, had requested to move, so we let him go. I'm actually a bit gutted because he was a really good backup squad rotational player. Could play all along the back line. And so I'm actually a bit gutted to lose Joe Gomez. He is 32 though. He's reaching that point in his career. Would he have this sell-on value in maybe one more year's time? He was in the last year of his deal as well. So probably the best time to sell him. And I think we did all right getting the money that we got for him. And then the other one was Tyrell Malacia, who I said I was going to maybe look to sell 52 million. They paid for a 29-year-old left-back. It's a huge amount of money that we couldn't turn down. I did say if we get £50 million from it, it'd be a really good deal. We ended up getting £2 million more than I expected. He's taken a big wage cut to go to Juventus. He was on 175 bags a week. He's now only on 120 grand a week. So he's taken a bit of a wage cut. They're clearly a team with a bigger reputation than theirs at this point in time, though. And we wish him well because he was a consistent performer, for the club, especially since we come on. I know that average rated 7 for the 2 seasons, but overall, I think he was a pretty consistent performer. I just didn't ever think he was worth 175 grand a week. I think that was what my issue was. The legend that is Thomas Souček has left the football club. He's 34 years of age now. He's gone to Porto. He signed a 2-year deal with them for 8.75 million. He was in the last year of his contract, and we wish him very, very well. I was looking at his attributes. He's on the downward spiral. They're all dropping off. So he's not the player he was when we first went in there. Although he was pretty good for us last year, he was never going to be a starter this season. So we've let him go. You're going to see a couple of loan signings for some youngsters. And then this one might be a surprise to you, but Francisco has left the football club. He's gone to Hertha Berlin for 35 million. And he kicked off, essentially. When the first bid came in, it was something like 28, I think, and he was like, I want to move, that's where I want to go. Requested a transfer. They came in with 35 million, and I thought, do you know what, sod it, I can't bother to argue with you, pal. When I look at his attributes, is he really that good anyway? I don't think he is. I don't. He's 23. He needs a lot of developing, and with Nicholas Wright at the club, he's not going to get the development he needs. So I just thought, you know what, cash in, Dan. You paid 9 million for him, and you're getting 35 back for 1 goal and 1 assist in the Premier League. I don't know, I just felt like it was a good offer. So I let him go. A couple more players have gone out on loan. Reece Blair has left for 600k. He was a youngster. If you take a look at him, he's not amazing, is he? So we let him go for 600k. We've let Ibrahim go for 425k, another youngster. Then we got Gregory and Baran. They've gone out on loan. Willem Kabamba has gone out on loan to Celtic for the season. I think this is a really good move for him. He's gone as a squad player, so he might have a similar role to what he had at West Ham, but should play a bit more because of the Scottish leagues and the nature of it. He's a player with some potential, and I just want him to get some more regular football, basically, and he will do that at Celtic. And then we've got Austin Ashana, who's gone out for 8.7 million. You wouldn't know who he was. He was in our academy, and he was on like 25 grand a week. He's taking a big wage cut, but he was on a lot of money, and I was like, who even is this guy? So I just sold him, and I got good money for him. There's also like a percentage in there, so if he ever gets sold on, we get a bit of the profit. And then Luis Nascimento's gone out on loan again to a bigger club this time, to Werder Bremer this season, and we'll see how he gets on. He's still only 18 years of age, so another loan deal will do him well. So yeah, we made a lot of money, like 130 odd million there. If you plus that to this, that's 160, call it 190 odd million pound. Not bad. We've made a lot of money there, haven't we? Done really, really well. Now we get to the ins, ladies and gentlemen, and it starts at the Trevor Cavell. He looks a very good player. He's coming in as our backup left back. We signed him from Brighton, £10 million up front, £40 million worth. If we end up having to pay all of the fees. And this is what we're getting for our money. He's a left back. He prefers to play wing back, but he's just basically going to have to learn to play full back because that's how we play at the club. And yes, just look at that potential ability, the 4.5 star. Now, I know I always say to you guys, don't pay attention to the stars all that much because it's really about the attributes and how they fit into your system. But still, it's nice to know the potential's there. Worth a lot of moolah already. And a box he ticks. I know he's 23, so it might be difficult to get him to that level, but a box he ticks is that he's English. The quota, the homegrown quota, it's a great thing for that. It really, really is. So we welcome him to the club. Next up is Benjamin Ilesic, I think is how we're saying that. He comes in from Celtic. Now, he's basically replacing Francisco. He's going to be the backup right-sided player. £11 million up front, could go to £20.5 million with the add-ons. And this is what we're getting for our money. He's a very similar player to Francisco, but he's 3 years younger. and there's a little bit more in the tank where development's concerned. And I felt like it was just a good deal to make, to be honest with you. Can play on that right side, and will be a bit part role. He'll probably play cup games, probably play a little bit in Europe. Will come in as and when he's needed. He's a backup player at the end of the day. 50 grand a week, not much wages for him either. We've then gone back and raided Graza again, and I don't like doing this because it kind of just splits up what you're doing at old clubs, and I don't want to knock their momentum. By the way, since we've left Graza, they've finished second both times. So we won the league, but they're still consistently a very good team. But we've gone back and we've paid 13 million for Borislav Nikolov. He was the Bulgarian attacking midfielder that we signed when we were at the club. He seems to have developed quite nicely, and a few of the clubs in Europe had gone in for him, and I thought, it's one of those, I don't want him going there, I want him. So I've just gone and bought him, and like I say, we paid 13 million quid for him. Look how much he's worth already. 40 grand a week. We paid 1.3 million. So that's a nice markup for Graza. It's good money made. And I was just looking at him, and he had a really good season last year. 12 goals and 5 assists. And I feel like if I'm looking at those attributes, I've just clicked off of him like an idiot. If I'm looking at the attributes, he's a really well-rounded player. We've just loaned Kabamba out. I think it makes sense to have him in the squad as an attacking midfielder, and someone who I think could do a really, really good job for us as well. 20 years of age. I think he's such a solid player. Can play in the midfield as well, like as a centre midfielder. Next up is Jonas Richer from Bayer Leverkusen. 28 million up front. It can go to 54 million. That's a lot of money, this transfer, but he's our new left back. 22 years of age. He comes on 165 grand a week. I kind of just absolutely chatting complete waff when it comes to Malacia. He's 10 grand less, but he's far younger, and I do think if we're looking at the attributes across the board, he's a better player than Malacia. Look at the mentals and the physicals on this player. He is no joke. He's so good, and he can play a number of roles as well. Obviously, we play fullback. I still think he's going to make a good fullback, but we might have to go to wing-backs eventually because they're just ridiculous how good a wing-back he is. But he's good, isn't he? He is really good, and that's why we paid the money that we've paid. At the end of the day, £50-odd million could end up looking like a complete steal as time goes on, because he's only going to get better, gang. He is our new left back. We move forward with the rest of the transfers that we've made, and the top two names are names that you're going to be familiar with, and it's Dominik Szoboszlai and Alberto Garay. We basically ended up paying those fees that their loans had written in them. Juve wouldn't take a structured deal. I wanted Szoboszlai at the club, so I just paid the fee. We had the money there after, moving and shaking and getting the money that we knew we were going to get for players. We had the money there to bring him in, so I've done just that. So Dominik Szoboszlai is now a full-time West Ham player, 155 grand a week, but as we see last season, an unbelievable partnership with Declan Rice, and with Thomas Souček gone, he is the nailed-on starter now with Declan Rice in the midfield. 28 years of age, so it might seem like a lot of money to pay, but when you have a player as consistent as he has been for those two loans, I think it was a good one to make. And then Alberto Garay essentially comes in as a bit of a squad player, will play second fiddle to Hansic at right back, but a very, very good player to rely upon if we get injury, suspensions and all that good stuff at right back. Was half decent for us last year, and I felt the need to bring him back. Then we've gone for Valentin Chahiri, a £7 million, 10 million of with the rest of the fees from Monaco, and he comes in as a backup centre-back, basically. Gomez has gone, Zuma went, we weren't left with a lot, was we? So I felt like we needed, another player back there. 18 years of age, definitely one that we are bringing in to kind of develop. He's on the short side for a centre-back. I'm very aware of that, but his jumping reach is pretty good. His heading's pretty good, and I felt like that outweighed it. But yeah, a good player. He could probably be turned into a pretty good defensive midfielder. The passing's there, the first touch is there. He's coming in as a ball-playing defender, but I think he looks good, especially for that money. It's ridiculously cheap fee for the player that we're getting. Then this is one for the future. Mateo Bonovic coming in from Lokomotivia. 1.6 can go to 2.6. Centre midfielder. And I'm going to try and send him out on loan this season. His attributes are actually not that bad. He could probably play a bit of a bit part role for the team. But I'm going to stick him in the under-23, see if we can get him a loan deal and get him some more football. But he's one for the future, 19 years of age and a relatively cheap fee. Then we've signed Simon Novalet, £18 million, £38 million with the add-ons. And he's an Italian midfielder. Comes in from Inter Milan, and the attribute that no one's going to look at because you probably don't look at this stuff, he's 6'8" and 15 stone. I don't know. He's a giant. His heading should be so much better than it is, but his jumping's pretty good. And I just feel like he's a player. They're not like, there's no standout attributes in there really. His physicals are immense and his height and everything's just insane. But I feel like if we could get his technicals and his mentals to the same level of his physicals, he could just be an unbelievable player. He could probably, like, he's obviously got the striker thing in his bag as well because he could play as a target man. He can play centre mid. He can play out wide. He can play in the hole. I just feel like it was just one of those, it was just going to be a dumb signing not to make. Loads of clubs went in for him. I'm just going to throw that out there. They were all trying to structure deals left, right and centre. We just structured the one they liked the most. And then he chose us over a couple of other clubs. But 6'8". He's got to be one of the biggest players in the game, surely. But yeah, what a player we've got in our hands there. And then the last one is just a monstrous transfer fee. But I think he's special. And I'm amazed that Chelsea have given him up for the fee they've given him up for. 40 million up front could go to 105 million. Yes. 105 million. It is what it is. His name's Marvellous Sabanda for a reason. And this is Marvellous Sabanda. He's our new left winger. That's basically where I'm playing him. And yeah, he's pretty good, isn't he? Now, what's crazy, 90 grand a week is all he's come in for. You would have expected a player to pay that sort of fee for. That should be a gigantic wage bill. And there wasn't. He's English as well. What? 6'2", big for a winger, can play up front, good dribbling, great finisher, good first touch, not bad in the air. Passing needs some work, but he's fast. His stamina's good. His jumping reaches. He's just overall great left winger. Probably a better inside forward. But as you all know, I don't play with inside forwards and I've never really had much luck building a formation to use them either. But I do feel like he could be unreal out on the left-hand side. I just had to make this signing. I know it's silly money. But I had to make it. And that is the transfer window. It's only taken, 16, 17 minutes. But anyway, that's done. Finances, they look like this. £12 million left in the bank. 12 million of fees left for transfers. Probably not going to spend that. We don't need to. So that's that done. Now, what we're going to do is go to the league systems. The Champions League, we go in at the group stages. We don't need to worry about that. There's all the qualification going on at the moment. They're expecting us to reach the quarterfinal of the FA Cup. They're considering the Carabao Cup and the FA Community Shield not important. We're going to play the Community Shield game today. First, I'll get around to the Champions League and they want us to basically just finish in the top half of the Premier League. Now, if we look at the season preview, they're expecting us to finish 5th this season, 20-1. They're considering last season as a bit of a one-off and a bit of a shock, which is very annoying to me. I'm going to be honest with you. For whatever reason, they've Alfonso and Richer have been put into the Dream 11, which is amazing to see, but Richer should be on the left, because he's left-footed and a left-back, but whatever. Foden, Isaac, Mbappe, Windsor, they're all in there. They're all still really good players. They think that Arsenal, Chelsea, City, United are all going to finish above us. Who knows? Who really knows? £974 million has been spent to this point. Newcastle spent the most. I'm not sure. Oh, highest net. That's the thing. We probably wouldn't literally be like a few million quid in it, wouldn't there? Because of the sellage But yeah, you'll see that Sheffield United, Luton and Brighton were the teams to come up. It's going to be tough for them. But yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be a really, really good season. Sponsorship income, you're going to see we are 10th in the league with 43 million, miles off of City, United, Newcastle and Chelsea. But yeah, the squad, I think, looks top notch. It really does. We've not changed that striker situation, although there is interest in both our strikers. There's interest in Nicholas Wright, Alan Enrique and Matos Souza, who is still here though. I feel like he's probably going to be here for this season maybe, because he ended last season really, really well. So anyway, that's that. If we go to the fixtures, you see a bunch of friendlies played, done really, really well. We're playing Manchester United today. Then I'll probably come back when the Champions League draw is. I know it's usually early part of September. And then we'll do the Champions League draw next episode, because it's going to be at least in 2 or 3 games' time. So let's get to the Carabao Cup final. Community Shield final. Imagine if the Carabao Cup final was the first game of the season. What an idiot. Yes, the Community Shield final. And this is the team I am going with, gang. We're going to go with Gomez in goal, Handsic and Richer at fullback, Perez and Alfonso at centre-back, Szoboszlai and Rice in the midfield, Sabanda left, right on the right, Yaya through the middle, Madao up top. I've got to stop saying right on the right because it's right, but it's wrong at the same time. It feels wrong every time I say it. Anyway, whatever. Let's get to it. So here we go, my friends, live from Wembley. I don't know why I've done that. I I was going to do my my terrible impression of Tildesley, who is just not a very good commentator these days. But he goes, "And we are live." Oh, I hate it. And anyway, let's get cracking. Let's get rid of that. I hate that bloody thing at the bottom there. Early corner to Man U. And Milenkovic-Savic has put on 1-0 up inside 2.5 minutes. Of course he has. And already you do that whole, have I spent too much money? Have I made too many changes? Have I messed up this championship winning team from last year? Right, that was all right, that defending. And we've done well and all to work that out. We're going to go back to Gomez. Comes wide to Richer. Inside. This is good stuff. Into Sabanda. That's a lovely ball. Into Leafa Madao. Get in there. What a ball from Sabanda. £40 million well spent. God, when it goes up to £105 million, we'll all be going, £105 million well spent. It's just a ridiculous sum of money to be spending on players, but that's the way FM's gone. It's not even the biggest transfer this summer. There was enormous amounts of money spent. We come back now to Perez, into Alfonso, now Yaya, into Szoboszlai, into Madao, comes wide to Sabanda, on the ball again, nice ball in, from Rice, into Nicholas Wright, it's 2-1 West Ham. What an opening 16 minutes of this Community Shield game. 2 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals. Get in there, what a turnaround for West Ham. And now I don't know what to expect. They're not even starting their best goalkeeper. Lucas Vazquez on the bench is an unbelievable goalkeeper. They're playing Martinez instead. Why would you do that? Just play your strongest team. It's a piece of silverware. It's a piece of silverware. That's how I look at it. I shouldn't be moaning though, really, should I? Because we're in the box seat at the moment. But Manchester United come forward now. Singo drives that ball in there. That's a good save. He's still there though. It's going to come back. He's coming back in and it goes wide this time. It was a good save from Gomez though. Just going to demand a little bit more. Coming into that 40-minute mark. That's a good turn. Oh, it took a little deflection. I think it Put the keeper off slightly. It wasn't the hardest shot, was it? He should have been able to take that in. Hasn't been able to. Headed out, dealt with well. Since taking the lead, it's kind of been all Manchester United, hasn't it? Backs against the wall stuff for West Ham. That's a terrible ball, though. But if we can get to half-time in the lead, it will be very, very nice. But no more shots than the 2 shots we've had. Okay. Could do with a bit more. We're kind of absolutely shithouse in this one at the moment, as things stand. It's not a good, it's not a good view on how far we've come, is it, at the moment? 3 shots, 3 on target. You know, I'm not sure. But it was 2 very good goals. Not exactly luck. Don't really know. Don't really know what to talk about, gang. I'm a bit like I'm sitting here considering tactics and where do we go from here to make sure that we secure the win. And I am looking at like the likes of Sabanda and Rice and Szoboszlai and Wright, and they're all very low on their energy levels. The thing is, my tactic really does ask a lot of my players. Because it's a high tempo, high press, and the players don't stop. Let's just get all this stuff done. Do I make more changes? I know you can make a lot of changes. I'm going to bring Novalay on. And I'm going to bring Ashvado on and go Madao on the left. And I've got Enrique on the bench who I could have brought on, but just prefer to have a bit more of an attacking threat, to be honest with you. Highlight now, it's going to come to Hansic. He drives forward into Nicholas Wright. He comes inside to Novalay, into Ashvado. Nice ball around the corner. Oh, is it the woodwork? Oh, what a goal that would have been from Leifa Madao. Now they're going to go up the other end. It's a good save from Gomez. There was a little bit too much on it. Perez comes wide to Richer, into Madao, into Ashvado. Nothing's going to come of it. Well defended by Manchester United. But that would have been a lovely goal, wouldn't it? Not long to go. A few minutes added on, I reckon. Yep, 4 minutes added on. But we're on the verge of Declan Rice lifting another piece of silverware. I'm not going to get too excited about this one. It's a glorified friendly. Look at the size of Novalay. He's a giant. Mate, we need to get him good. We need to get him good. I think he's going to be a boss from set pieces and that. But Declan Rice. Lift it up, big boy. Come on, get in there. Get in there. Any piece of silverware in this series is important. Even these community shields and super cups and whatnot, they are important. And it is another piece of silverware. We're back in the tracksuit, as you can see, waving to the fans who all adore your manager. Well, I hope they do. And so there you have it. We've done it, friends. We've beat Manchester United by 2-1. It's great. It's another piece of silverware. That's the thing you've got to remember. That's a glorified friendly. I'm not going to get too excited about this one, all right? Yes, it's a trophy, but the Community Shield is honestly, it's a glorified friendly. But it adds points. It does add points to the Hall of Fame list. Takes us to 553. I can't remember where we were at at the end of the last episode. I don't think that's worth a lot of points anyway, but we win it anyway. Richard makes his debut, medals, leads to glory, great stuff. I'll do all that in a moment. Let's talk about next episode, shall we? So, if we take a look at the fixtures, I think I'm probably going to end up playing Sheffield United and Villa game. And then I know the window will be shut. And then the Champions League draw is probably going to be made around a similar time to maybe City and Tottenham. So we'll probably come back for one of these games, I would imagine. Because I'll just do the games that are close to the Champions League draw. I think that makes sense. So it's probably going to be another pretty big game next episode. But there's nothing else to show you. I'll finish here, but it doesn't really get going until next time. And so there you have it, my friends. We're done and dusted for another episode of the Hall of Famer. A £200 million spending spree, an opening day trophy. It's all going pretty well, isn't it? I'm rather happy. I hope you are too. But anyway, remember to return next episode to see the Champions League draw. But until then, if you're new around here, please consider subscribing. Best way to support the channel, drop a like on the video. That's the best way, not only to support this one episode, but to support the series as a whole. Until next time, though, saluting you all. Stay safe, stay humble. See you on the next one.